The desert stretched, a canvas of burning orange. The sun beat down with relentless fury. A lone figure lay sprawled on the sand, a splash of silver against the endless dunes. Her breaths were shallow, ragged gasps. Pain throbbed in her side, a constant searing reminder of the crash. She was Princess Lyra of the Silver Moon Kingdom, light years from home. Her ship, a mangled wreck in the distance, was a testament to the cruelty of fate. Her escape pod had malfunctioned, leaving her stranded in this unforgiving wasteland. Lyra's hand instinctively went to the wound on her side. Her fingers came away wet, stained crimson. Her vision swam, the heat shimmered, blurring the line between reality and delirium. Hope, once a beacon, flickered precariously in the face of her dire situation. Miles away, a lone figure trekked across the dunes, each step a testament to his resilience and determination. Samuel, a weathered explorer with eyes as blue as the summer sky, navigated the treacherous landscape with practiced ease. His face, etched with lines from countless adventures, told stories of distant lands and forgotten trails. His worn boots kicked up puffs of sand, quickly erased by the desert wind. Each grain of sand seemed to whisper secrets of the ancient world, secrets that Samuel had spent his life uncovering. He hummed a tuneless melody, a familiar comfort in the desolate silence. The tune, though simple, echoed the rhythm of his heart, steady and unwavering. Samuel was a man of simple pleasures. The harshness of the desert was a stark contrast to the peace he found in its solitude. A cup of strong tea, a good book, and the vast expanse of the world to explore were all he desired. The tea, brewed from leaves he carried with him, was a reminder of home, and the vast expanse of the world to explore were all he desired. The book, worn and dog-eared, was his constant companion, filled with tales of adventure and discovery. He carried himself with a quiet confidence, a testament to years spent navigating the earth's most unforgiving corners. Each step was deliberate, each movement calculated. His British upbringing was evident in his clipped accent and his unwavering sense of decorum, even in the most trying circumstances. It was this sense of decorum that set him apart, a gentleman in the wild. He consulted his compass, a vintage brass piece passed down through generations. It was more than just a tool, it was a link to his past, a symbol of his heritage. The needle spun erratically, a sure sign of the magnetic anomalies that plagued this region. These anomalies were both a challenge and a mystery, one that Samuel relished. Samuel chuckled, a low rumble in his chest. The desert, with all its unpredictability, was a worthy adversary. "Trying to throw me off, are you?" he muttered to the compass, a twinkle in his eye. The compass, like the desert, was a puzzle he was determined to solve. A faint sound reached Samuel's ears, carried on the wind. He paused, head cocked, listening intently. It was a soft, almost imperceptible moan. It was out of place, a discordant note in the desert's symphony. Curiosity piqued, Samuel adjusted the strap of his canteen and changed course, drawn towards the sound like a moth to a flame. The dunes stretched before him, an undulating sea of sand. The heat played tricks on his vision, creating mirages that shimmered and danced. He pressed on, driven by the faint hope of finding a fellow traveler in distress. As he crested a particularly high dune, his eyes widened in surprise. There, lying on the sand, was a figure unlike any he had ever seen. It was humanoid in shape, but its skin shimmered silver, reflecting the harsh sunlight. It wore a garment of a strange, metallic fabric, torn and bloodied. "Good heavens!" Samuel breathed, rushing towards the fallen figure. The landscape around him was a chaotic blend of alien flora and strange, glowing rocks, but his focus was solely on the figure lying motionless ahead. He knelt beside her, his heart pounding in his chest. The adrenaline surged through his veins, making every second feel like an eternity. He had encountered many strange and wonderful creatures in his travels, but nothing quite like this. Each encounter had taught him something new, but this situation was unlike any he had faced before. He reached out, his touch gentle, and checked for a pulse. His fingers trembled slightly as they made contact with her cool skin. It was faint, but it was there, a small spark of life that gave him hope. Relief washed over him, followed swiftly by concern. The pulse was weak, and he knew he had to act fast. She was badly injured. That much was clear. Her wounds were severe, and time was of the essence. He needed to act quickly if he was going to save her. His training kicked in, and he began to assess the situation with a clear mind. "Don't you worry," he murmured. more to himself than to the unconscious figure. His voice was steady, a stark contrast to the turmoil inside him. "You're in safe hands now." He hoped his words would somehow reach her, providing a sliver of comfort in her unconscious state. With practiced efficiency, Samuel went about assessing her injuries. Each wound told a story of a struggle, a fight for survival. He pulled out his first aid kit, a well-worn canvas bag containing everything he might need to patch up a wound or two. The kit was a lifeline, a symbol of hope in dire situations. He worked swiftly, his brow furrowed in concentration as he cleaned and bandaged the gash on her side. Each movement was precise, honed by years of experience. He gave her a measured dose of water, tilting the canteen to her lips and watching as she swallowed weakly. The water was a lifeline, a small but crucial step in her recovery. Her eyes fluttered open, the color of molten gold, filled with confusion and pain. They were mesmerizing, a window into her soul. He smiled reassuringly, hoping she understood the kindness in his gaze despite the language barrier that separated them. His smile was a promise, a vow to protect and heal. The woman, Lyra, drifted in and out of consciousness. She saw a man with kind eyes and sun-weathered skin. His touch was gentle as he tended to her wounds. His voice, a low rumble in a language she didn't understand, was strangely soothing. He offered her water, his hand steady as she drank. Her throat felt like sandpaper, and the cool liquid was a balm on her parched tongue. She tried to speak, to ask where she was, who he was, but the words wouldn't come. She drifted back into the darkness, fear a tight knot in her chest. She was so far from home, injured and alone. But the man's presence, his unwavering care, offered a sliver of hope in the face of despair. As the sun began its descent, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, she found herself looking forward to seeing his face again. It was a comfort, a beacon in the deepening darkness. Over the next few days, a bond formed between the unlikely pair. Samuel, with infinite patience, cared for Lyra. He shared his meager rations, his knowledge of the desert, and his quiet strength. He spoke to her in soft tones, telling her stories of his travels and his life back in his little cottage in the English countryside. Lyra, though she didn't understand his words, understood the emotions behind them. She saw the kindness in his actions, the concern in his eyes. She responded in kind, her golden eyes reflecting the growing trust she felt for this strange yet gentle man. One evening, as the stars twinkled above them like a million diamonds scattered across a velvet cloth, Lyra managed to convey the truth of her identity. Using a combination of gestures and holographic projections from a device on her wrist, she revealed that she was no ordinary traveler. She was Princess Lyra, heir to the Silver Moon Kingdom, a civilization light years away. Samuel listened intently as Lyra's story unfolded, each word painting a vivid picture of a world far beyond his own. He had always believed in the vastness of the universe, the possibility of life beyond Earth. The night sky had always been a source of wonder for him, a canvas of endless possibilities. But to find himself face to face with an alien princess, stranded in the middle of the Sahara Desert, was beyond anything his wildest dreams had conjured. The surreal encounter felt like a scene from a science fiction novel, yet here he was, living it. He didn't bat an eyelid, his expression a mask of calm composure as she revealed her royal lineage. Samuel's mind raced with questions, but he maintained his calm, knowing that this moment was too important to let his curiosity overwhelm him. "Well then," he said, a hint of amusement in his voice, "it seems I've stumbled upon quite the adventure, haven't I?" His words were light, but his heart pounded with the gravity of the situation. Lyra, relieved that he believed her fantastical tale, used her device to contact her people. The device glowed with an otherworldly light, emitting sounds that were both strange and beautiful. Within hours, a shimmering silver ship descended from the sky, bathing the desert in an ethereal light. The sight was breathtaking, a testament to the advanced technology of Lyra's people. Lyra, fully healed and standing tall in her regal bearing, turned to Samuel, her eyes filled with gratitude. Her presence was commanding, yet her eyes spoke of a deep, personal thankfulness. "You saved my life," she said, her voice like the tinkling of wind chimes. The sincerity in her tone was unmistakable, and Samuel felt a warmth spread through him. "My people owe you a debt we can never repay." Her words hung in the air, heavy with the weight of their meaning. But I offer you this. Ask anything of me, and it shall be yours." The offer was grand, a promise that held the power of an entire kingdom. Samuel smiled, a genuine smile that lit up his weathered features. He had never sought riches or power, only the thrill of discovery and the beauty of the unknown. "All I ask," he said, his voice filled with sincerity, "is that you never stop looking at the stars." His request was simple yet profound, a reflection of his lifelong passion for the cosmos. And so Princess Lyra returned to her kingdom, her heart forever touched by the kindness of a stranger in the desert. The bond they had formed in such a short time was unbreakable, a testament to the power of human connection. She left behind a gift, a token of her gratitude, that would forever change Samuel's life. The object was small, but held immense value, a piece of her world left in his care. He was granted a vast fortune, enough to fund a lifetime of exploration. The wealth was beyond his wildest dreams, but it was the knowledge and experience that he treasured most. But, more importantly, he was gifted with the knowledge that somewhere out there, among the stars, a princess remembered the man who saved her life. This thought filled him with a sense of purpose and wonder, knowing that his actions had made a difference in the vast expanse of the universe.